uneven bars, and the all-around title, helping the Huskers to their 5th consecutive conference crown. The Oklahoma Sooners, Iowa State Cyclones, and host Missouri Tigers are focused on breaking the Nebraska dominance at the 1999 Big 12 Gymnastics Championships. To the Hearn Center on the Missouri campus in Columbia, site of the 1999 Big 12 Conference Women's Gymnastics Championships. Hi everybody, I'm John Neighbor, and tonight should be a jam-packed gymnastics routine after another as we see the top 3 finishers in each of the 5 events returning. And of course, the crown jewel in any conference meet is the team battle. And Kathy Johnson-Clark, you won 2 Olympic medals, one of them in team competition. What do we expect here?
John, ask any of the athletes here. That team victory is the ultimate goal for all of them. And if you look at statistics, and they can be reliable, Nebraska seems to be the overwhelming favorite. I spoke to their coach, Dan Kending. He thinks they're deep enough to win really, really big. And Oklahoma is here to disprove that and show that what's on paper can definitely be deceiving. Now, on top of the team competition, there's also the all-around competition. And though I think there are at least a half a dozen gymnasts who can win the all-around, I think there are probably 4 that really have the best combination of these qualities to really go after that top spot. Amber McCracken of Oklahoma has a really nice combination of everything. Good clean gymnastics and good difficulty. Her teammate, Ginger Russell, just wait, she is beautiful to watch. And on Nebraska, Heather Brink has the ability to really put everything together in a big situation like this Big 12 competition. And her teammate, Misty Oxford, very pleasing to the eye, very crisp, clean gymnastics. So it'll be unique and interesting in that all-around competition.
Now, lest we think there's only 2 schools competing in this conference meet, we should also point out that another one of the returning champions is Kelly Moore from Iowa State. Of course, the Missouri fans have turned out in large number because this is the farewell meet of their head coach, Jake Jacobson, after 20 years at the helm here in Missouri. But let's get to the action. The defending champion in the all-around, Heather Brink, spoke with us earlier and put her hopes for her return title in this event in perspective.
I'm coming into this meet not as the top gymnast in this conference, and my goal is just to go out there and hit my routines, you know, do the best that I can at this point in time. Hit them for myself, hit them for the team. And, you know, the team is what is most important, and, you know, winning Big 12 is one of our team goals, and moving on to regionals.
And Heather Brink will begin Nebraska's rotation number 1. Let's take a look at where the 4 schools begin this conference championship. Missouri will be beginning over in the vaulting pit. Oklahoma on the uneven bars. Nebraska, of course, on the beam. And taking over the floor exercises, Iowa State. But the defending all-around champion, Heather Brink, is getting ready now for her first event, the balance beam. Brink out of Lincoln, Nebraska, an elite gymnast who trained under Steve Nuno. Whoop, a little bobble. Nuno, of course, and Peggy Liddick, those that trained Olympic champion Shannon Miller.
Unfortunately, John, that was a very big bobble at the beginning, doing a difficult round-off layout mount.
Of course, the strategy to put Heather up in the early going is to elevate the scores for the gymnasts to follow. So it's important that she get a good mark up on the board.
Heather tends to do very difficult routines with big skills within. Will be doing a series of these jumps, especially jumps with half turns and full turns in the air, trying to earn bonus points.
Brink, the only Cornhusker to earn her way to the NCAA championships last year, and said being a lone athlete was much different than competing as part of the team, and she didn't like it.
Double back. Nice difficulty in that routine, and once she got past the mount, was very, very solid. Unfortunately, that's going to be a pretty hefty deduction.
Well, she was able to discount nicely.
Very strong finish for her. Nice high double back. Little cowboy of the legs, pulling him out to the side, but a great landing.
And the judges' marks for Heather Brink, a 9.725.
And here is Heather Brink's good teammate, classmate, one-time roommate, Misty Oxford, getting ready for her beam performance. Misty owns the school record on 3 out of 4 apparatus. She's a senior out of Kelso, Washington, and the only athlete less than 5 inches tall. She misses the barrier by 1 inch, 4 feet 11.
John, this is a very important routine for Nebraska. They have a fall so far, and they'd like to drop that score. You count 5 out of the 6 scores, so they can drop that if the rest of the routines are well done.
There's Oxford, the defending champion on floor exercise.
It's a very elegant style.
Last year, Misty ranked 18th in the country in the all-around. She is part of the best 1-2 combination in the conference.
Just to keep an eye on the all-around competition, remember Heather Brink went up first, had a little break. Actually, the judges were a little generous with her on it, but the rest of the routine was solid.
That was a nice dismount.
Very nice landing. A lot of the gymnasts are opting to do that dismount off to the side. It's not difficult and not risky, and more important, it's easy to stick because there's no deduction whatsoever.
Score for Misty Oxford, a 9.875. We'll rejoin more of the first rotation of women's gymnastics here on Fox Riz. Iowa State's Sissy Huey, a freshman out of Tallahassee, Florida, preparing for her floor exercise. And her coach told us that in early February of this year, she severely injured her left elbow.
John, it's amazing. She actually tore a ligament in the left elbow. It needs surgery repaired because there are certain skills that she cannot do or it will dislocate. But she put off the surgery, talked to her doctor, and they went through all her routines and figured out which things she could do and which she shouldn't do. And
you wouldn't know she's favoring it unless you were looking for it.
Well, notice in her routine, that first pass, she did a whip back, which is a no-handed back handspring, into the double twist. And now watch this middle pass. To whip with a half twist to a front with a full. So all the flips and the skills that she needs to get bonus points, she just does them without hands and uses a little creativity.
The soundtrack, of course, from the movie The Avengers.
Amy Berg said she worked so hard. If she had 6 of her, they'd win every meet.
With or without elbows.
Here's the whip back that I told you. She does a round off into it. And a whip back, which generates a lot of speed and power, and she tumbles right out of it into the double twist. No stress to the elbow.
Amazingly, only given permission to do tumbling in mid-March of this year, and she earns a wonderful score, 9.8 on her floor exercise. On the uneven bars, Amber McCracken from Oklahoma.
This is a huge routine. Look at the height of the release move. She has a nice big swing. Now watch, she'll set up another release move in this routine. Up, the dismount, full twisting double back. They're happy with it.
Very happy. And the Sooner, Amber McCracken, gets a 9.875, the high score so far on the bars. Every week, the coaches vote on choosing one athlete as gymnast of the week. Amber McCracken from Oklahoma has earned that honor 3 separate occasions. On your screen, the rest of the athletes who've also earned the distinction. He looks great. One of the top all-around hopes for Missouri is Jessica Haig, a senior out of Newmanstown, PA. Had a great junior year, set career highs in all events, and this was her first of 2 competitive vaults.
And John, what an exciting moment for this gymnast. Beautiful vault, very difficult. Piked cuervo, half twist, back in. Look at the landing. She can't believe it.
Check those heels for glue. Let's see if she can do it again. She's an English and graphics design major, has helped out the local sports information department in her off hours, and another good high one. Little step on the landing. We're going to count the first of the 2 vaults.
I think she was just too excited about that first ball.
Well, you only can count one. You don't need to do it twice. She's still smiling. And the senior, Jessica Haig, gets a 9.925 on the vault. That's Missouri's best score ever in any event. Fox Sports Net coverage of gymnastics will continue, but let's take a moment to see how these 4 teams stack up in the national rankings. Cornhuskers in 8th place. 2 more teams make the top 20. Iowa State just a little bit ahead of Oklahoma, and Missouri in the top 35. One of the most consistent athletes for the Huskers is Courtney Brown, a senior out of Fishers, Indiana. She's great in 3 out of 4 events. She doesn't have a bars routine to mention, but on beam she's earned as high as a 9.925 in the past. A real team leader, and many are looking for her to set the tone for the rest of the meet.
Very high pressure spot. You only put a gymnast last up on this event that can handle this kind of pressure and come up with a big performance. Very nice form. A gymnast perform on 3 events or specialize in one, especially with the team-oriented philosophy.
Checking the end of the beam.
Nice 1.5 twist dismount.
And they're all over her. Congratulations from Dan Kendig, the head coach, along with Rhonda Tetreault. Here comes the dismount right at you.
You mentioned Rhonda Tetreault. She was a 1988 Olympian and now in her first season as assistant coach at Nebraska, doing a great job with these gymnasts on the balance beam. There's a lot of experience she can share with them, and it's paying off.
So in fact, the Nebraska team did build in their first rotation up to a very consistent finish. And indeed, Nebraska did build to the high, a 9.925 for Courtney Brown. And so at the conclusion of the first rotation of women's gymnastics, Jessica Haig from host Missouri is leading the field. Amber McCracken from Oklahoma and Misty Oxford from Nebraska are currently tied for second. We'll be back with more after this. The first round of gymnastics, our leader is the Nebraska Cornhuskers, followed by Oklahoma. Missouri is currently in 4th place, as Iowa State has 48.6 in 3rd. Amber McCracken getting ready for the Sooners to mount the balance beam. Currently in 2nd place in the individual all-around.
Interesting story, John. She had to have plugs put in her tear ducts. They're trying something because her eyes kept watering and it was hard to see the balance beam and the uneven bars. So they're giving this a try, and so far she thinks it's better.
Wow. Out of Olathe, Kansas, key performer in all events, says their coach. In fact, she came back from a severe injury last year to become one of the top performers. School, Amber, they call her Boo, was a Kansas high school champion in all events. She lettered in gymnastics as well as cheerleading. She says she likes gymnastics better. Oh my goodness.
I saw her get a little tentative going into that third jump. The one thing you cannot do, the cardinal rule on balance beam, as much as it's tempting to hold back and be careful, you've got to be aggressive and attack, and at the same time relax.
That's a paradox, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, her coach just yelled that she might be running out of time. There is a time limit in the beam routine.
She wants her to move, move, move.
On the sidelines. The words right away. Becky, of course, an Olympic coach in 1988. Helped coach the U.S. Pan Am and World Championships team. Now in her 16th season at Oklahoma. And this is how the coach checks out the stopwatch during the routine. Uh-oh, you're running behind schedule. Come on. That's amazing to me, that she can watch the routine and to watch and bark instructions. Didn't notice any flaws, all going on simultaneously.
I think we ought to have judges for the coaches to judge their performances.
Absolutely right.
Thank you. Come on, guys. And do the
Amber's score on the balance beam, 9.65.
Come on.
Here she is once again, Heather Brink from Nebraska. They placed her in the middle of her team's rotation on floor exercise.
John, as I said at the top, she has an ability to do very big gymnastics, and this first tumbling run is a testament to that. A double layout. Though we're seeing it a little bit more in collegiate gymnastics, it's still a big trick.
2 years ago, Heather became Nebraska's first ever freshman to earn All-American honors. Last year, of course, living up to those expectations by winning the conference title in the individual all-around.
Keep in mind, she had that little bobble on beam, actually bigger than a little bobble, but still scored above a 9.7 on beam, so she's still right in there. Double layout. Oh, look at the smile on her face.
See those Cornhuskers acting like a team.
Level of difficulty in that floor routine. Good comeback from the balance beam.
The defending all-around champion, Heather Brink, earns 9.925 on the floor. Here's Amanda Peterson competing now in the uneven bars. We had a chance to talk to her earlier, asked her to comment on what it's like to compete in front of a home crowd.
Oh, I love competing at home. It's just the crowd's with you usually, and you have so many people that you can see in the stands that you recognize, and you're on your equipment, and it's just so much more fun.
So this table is ideally set for Amanda Peterson, the first Tiger ever to win an all-conference title. She had injuries scuttle her junior year last year. Now as a senior out of Shawnee Mission, Kansas. She hopes to become a surgeon.
college gymnastics. The level of difficulty on this event is probably the highest of any of the events.
Great score, 9.675 on the uneven bars. Here's Misty Oxford, the defending conference champion in this event, the floor exercise. Yeah.
I really enjoy watching this gymnast. Very pretty hands, very nice presentation.
She's selected is called Children. 3 times an All-American.
Seldom see someone do a double back in tough position with their legs totally together, and it's nice to see.
Heather Brink, one of the first to give her the high five at the end of that routine.
You can tell she pays close attention to detail. Watch as she goes into this double back. Knees very tight together.
And of course the team's right there for the landing. Definitely a unified group of young ladies.
Absolutely, it's great to see.
Misty Oxford gets a 9.9, just a 1/4 of a point behind her teammate Heather Brink. At the midway point here at the Big 12 Conference Gymnastics, it's Misty Oxford from Nebraska, who is our current leader. A tie for second place between teammate Heather Brink and Jessie Smith from Iowa State. Jessica Haig, who led after 1, is now in 4th place. We'll be back after a few messages. Stay with us. Nebraska extending its lead. Iowa State has leaped into 2nd place ahead of Oklahoma. Missouri still in 4th. Next up for Oklahoma, Amber McCracken. We had a chance to speak with her and get her comments about the camaraderie available in college gymnastics.
It's the best thing about college gymnastics is the camaraderie you get with your teammates and the relationships you develop, and you know they're going to last longer than college, and you get to meet some of the most wonderful people ever, and you just, you know, thank God that you got to come to a school with, you know, great athletes and great teammates and stuff. It makes the world a difference.
Amber's brother and father were both gymnasts. Gave her some good advice in her early going, and her mother, who was in attendance, ran the gymnasium. That still has the McCracken Gymnastics Academy. And Mother Linda watching from the sidelines. How tempting it must be to be both a coach and a mom. She's sitting on the sidelines.
This was definitely a good recipe for a collegiate gymnastics floor routine. A lot of energy. Good landings. And a smile on your face.
And Coach Buick moving the next athlete into position. Amber McCracken, 9.85 on floor exercise. Here comes our current leader in the individual all-around, preparing for her first of 2 vaults. Misty Oxford owns a school record on 3 out of 4 apparatus at her school. Can she increase her contribution today?
She's performing a handspring front pike with a half twist. Looking for a very crisp, clean twist. Right there. Oh, a pretty big step on the landing.
She's earned as high as a 9.95 in this apparatus before. That's a great score to try to beat. Let's see what the judges say on this one.
This vault shouldn't score anywhere near that, just because of the landing, and it's not quite as high. Watch the position in the air. She has good position. She's spotting the landing, but she's coming down a little bit low, had to pike in, and it made her over-rotate. She wants to be able to spot that landing a little sooner and drop it in. Performing the same vault again. Remember, the better of the 2 scores will count, so she can improve on this. Actually, a little bit better. Now, we have the benefit of looking at this slow motion. The judges don't, so it's easier to pick it apart. Just a little leg separation here. Better height, much better. And just a little bit smaller hop on the landing.
Oxford's best score on 2 vaults, a 9.775. Let's move now over to the uneven parallel bars, where Iowa State's closing up their rotation. In 6th place is Sissy Huey. She's the young lady with the torn ligament in her left elbow, and by that brace you can see there certainly is cause for concern.
And this is one of the best routines in the competition. Look at the technique she uses. Big high release move. She really blocks everything out. All she needs is a great dismount, because they want to drop a low score of 9-2, and it looks like they'll do it. Very nice double layout dismount.
Remarkable routine.
Watch this pirouette after the uprise. She pirouettes right up on top of the bar, blocks it out, and then great height on this front somersault. Nice work.
And the judges' marks coming in at 9.875, and that ties her for the high score on that apparatus. A great routine for Sissy Huey. Now over on floor exercise is Ginger Russell, voted last year's Big 12 Gymnast of the Year. Qualified for level 10 national level, 1996, and has been competing in gymnastics since the age of 3.
I already love this routine. The music and the drama, beautiful lines and extension in her movement. Coming off a 9.9 on the balance beam. A lot of momentum.
She lettered in track and field. Can you guess her event? The high jump.
this exercise, and a smile that lights up the arena.
And Gidge Russell gets a 9.9 on floorats. Missouri is next up on the beam, thanks to the talents of Allison Akers, a junior out of Springfield, Missouri. She took a nasty fall towards the end of last season, but has recovered nicely. She likes art and music. Of course, all these upperclassmen trying to do their best for Coach Jake Jacobson's swan song.
They're actually having a very good meet, putting together some solid performances, highlighted by, of course, that wonderful vault. Jessica Haig.
And teammate Shannon Browner earlier on set a school record for the balance beam with a score of 9.25.
She can finish strong, they'll be able to drop the low score of 9.05 and count some very, very high scores for them on balance beam.
Allie is an environmental design major.
Very nice.
Good solid performance, and there's the man, head coach Charles Jake Jacobson. Over 350 career wins, and now he's looking forward to a lot of golf. He and his wife Nola live here in Columbia. And in many ways, he introduced the sport to the state of Missouri. There's been a constant in the Missouri women's gymnastics program since it began in 1979. For 20 years, the guiding light has been their first and only head coach, Charles Jake Jacobson. His success can be seen in the athletes he trained and the promotion of the sport on campus and in the community.
He's like a second father. He's the nicest person. He'll do anything for you. I couldn't ask for a better coach.
I think really gymnastics, it's a program here. I've never tried to build this program on winning. I've tried to build this program on promoting the qualities of our sport, which I think are very, very unique compared to other sports. This is a tremendous sport and has great marketing potential. And I would just like the athletic directors in the United States of America Division I schools to realize what this sport can do from a spectator standpoint.
With one rotation remaining, it's a very hot battle for the all-around. Teammates Misty Oxford and Heather Brink separated by the barest of margins. Ginger Russell from Oklahoma now in third. Stick around for the final and crucial round of Big 12 women's gymnastics right after this. Fox Sportsnet Big 12 gymnastics competition as we take a look at the all-around standings with one rotation remaining. And Misty Oxford, who won the floor exercise last year, is our leader by the barest margin over teammate Heather Brink. Ginger Russell and Jessie Smith and Amber McCracken rounding out the field, and Kathy Johnson-Clark with one rotation remaining. Are we surprised at the quality and the depth and the breadth of the skills today?
No, I'm not surprised. I am surprised how close it is. Less than 0.2 of a point separate these 5 gymnasts. So it's still pretty wide open. We've seen a couple of the gymnasts make mistakes that I didn't expect. Heather Brink, the little bobble on balance beam. But I'm tell you what, Ginger Russell's absolutely beautiful, and she's just climbing from event 1.
And the team battle is still going on, but let's join the action now in rotation number 4, the last event for each of these athletes. And here she is, our leader, Misty Oxford, who has already earned the school record in this event at a 9.95 earlier in her career. Can she repeat that performance? By the margin by which she exceeds Heather Brink, her teammate, may determine the all-around winner.
And her success so far is due to really clean gymnastics. Very nice form throughout. And solid difficulty. Not a bad routine. 2 big elements. Nice dismount, double layup, have a release move in the middle. Couple little forearm deductions, which surprised me actually because she's so clean everywhere else. Her feet came apart a few times throughout the routine. But overall, not too shabby.
So her conference meet comes to a close on that apparatus, and she must just sit idly by watching, see whether or not, and there's a little pat of encouragement from her main rival, Heather Brink. That was the release move you talked about.
Watch her leg, her feet just come apart. A few times throughout the competition, they're not quite together, or they'll unpoint a few times. Right there at the top in the handstand, just little things that add up. There's the nice release move, reverse heck. And the best part of the routine is the dismount. Double layout, good difficulty for the end of the routine, and well done.
9.825. That's the score for Misty Oxford on her 4th apparatus. And here she is, Ginger Gidge Russell out of Fort Smith, Arkansas, getting ready for her 2nd of 2 vaults. Had a little bit of difficulty on her 1st attempt, but that smile is still there.
Most important, she's doing a more difficult vault for the 2nd vault. This is the handspring front pike, and it's worth a 9.9, whereas her 1st vault was only worth a 9.8. She's got a better chance here, but she has to be perfect. This is not her strongest event. Lacks really the speed and the power. Because even on the handspring front, the easier vault, she had some trouble. You got to hand it to her, though, for trying the harder vault. That's what she had to do, both for the team, you know, trying to go for a bigger score, and, of course, for her all-around chances. Watch here. I mean, she's given it all she has. She's a little sluggish and came onto the horse in a piked position, and that's just almost impossible to drive the heels enough to then get the rotation to make it all the way around. That's too bad.
Ginger Russell earns a 9.625 for the best of her 2 vaults. With the all-around defending champion still to come, this title is still a battle sewn up, but the all-around comes down to this final performer. Heather Brink, the defending all-around champion, needs a 9.9 on her final routine in order to win the all-around title handily. If she gets a 9.875, she will tie with her teammate, Misty Oxford.
And this is the kind of situation that I was talking about at the top. She's accustomed to competing under pressure, having been an elite gymnast, competing at the national championships as a national team member. There's a big routine here. Lots of release moves. More than anyone so far in the competition.
Could you give that a 9.9 at this level of
Why are you
score?
putting me on the spot, John Neighbor?
Well,
based on the scores that they're getting here at this competition, yes. Very possibly. Did I see a couple breaks? Yes. Are there deductions? Right there, legs apart. The dismount was easier than the rest of the routine. But on the positive side, she throws a lot of release moves.
and of course, the leader watching from the sidelines, Misty Oxford, this is her reaction to the landing. The whole team gathered around. As a team, they have completed their competition. Coach Dan Kendig, 5 straight conference titles. This could be number 6. He was voted 5 times Coach of the Year, over 200 career victories. His assistant coaches, Rob Drass and, as you say, Rhonda Claim-Tetreault on the sidelines. And the scores are coming in for Heather Brink. 9.85. It's not enough. It's not enough to take the all-around. That will go to Misty Oxford. Misty wins the title, and Heather Brink comes up just a little bit short. And on the vault, Amber McCracken from Oklahoma needs a 10.0. Possible tie for the overall.
This is a big vault. Front pike with a half twist.
Oh, the sideline hop.
That's a quick little hop.
Linda McCracken not too impressed with that vault. And And the last Sooner in the contest earns a 9.85 on the vault for McCracken. As the competition comes to its close, it's Nebraska easily defending its teams in the individual all-around, a last-minute surprise. Nebraska coach Dan Kendig lodged a protest over a low score received by Heather Brink in the third round, her vault. The protest was upheld, the score changed, and now Nebraska can claim co-champions in the individual all-around. Iowa State's Sissy Huey shares the next spot with Oklahoma's Amber McCracken. With the happy winners, here's Kat.
So, Dan, I talked to you before the competition, and you had some huge, gigantic predictions, and it seems like they all came true. Do you have any surprises at all?
Not really. It's easy to make those predictions when you have a team like this. They've worked really hard. They've set goals like this, and they came in here really prepared and ready to go, and it showed tonight.
What does this mean with nationals coming up?
Tell you what, we feel really good with where we are. We feel like our best gymnastics is still ahead of us. We've got our regional championships at home in 2 weeks, and we're ready.
And with kind of a nice little turn of events here, we have a tie for all-around champion and only fitting roommates. What do you think about that? Because now you got a huge smile on your face. Before it's like, I was just helping the team. Talk about your co-champion.
Well, it was really exciting. I think winning the team Big 12 championships is like the best thing, and then all-around's just icing on the cake.
I agree. I don't know, the same thing. I mean, we just want to go out and hit, and we did, and we won, and that just comes with it.
Congratulations to the whole team. Great job. Good luck at nationals.
Good up. Yeah.
So the Cornhuskers from Nebraska make it 6 conference titles in a row. Misty Oxford graduates with an all-around championship to her credit. And Kathy Johnson-Clark, a lot of impressive routines, but what impressed you the most about the competition?
Well, I loved all of the routines and loved
The team finished third, led in part by Vasily Chiwana, who was 4th in the all-around. As we reported last week, Chiwana and 2 of his teammates, Marianne Melita and